Hello, DCO Nation. Welcome to DCO Live. We're breaking down everything saltwater inshore kayak fishing, from seasonal patterns, tactics, and techniques to help you hook up on more fish. This show airs every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram Live. So drop your questions in the chat, and here we go. Well, hello, DCO Nation. Welcome back, guys. It's Thursday night. If I am coughing and clearing my throat a little bit here tonight, I apologize. I have tried to stay away from everybody who has been sick right now, but it's finally creeped its way into our house. My wife, Lefty, she is down and out right now. She is just, oh boy, she's sick. I feel so bad for her right now, but I've been spending a lot of time back here in my office, so we have been separated, but I can start to feel it in my throat. I know a lot of you guys have already experienced whatever is going around, but anyway, I am trying my best to fight it off. But so again, if I clear my throat, if I cough a little bit, I apologize. I will try to hit the, mute the mic the best I can, but, I don't have a dump button, so I won't be able to do it. But man, there's a ton of you guys on. I'm going to need to actually scroll back up to see who is here. Brian, Small Craft Angler, good to see you, buddy. Captain Bob is on tonight. Great to see you too. Tony is on. Russell's on. Everett's on. Man, great to see everybody. I appreciate you guys jumping on here tonight. But before we actually jump into the show, a couple of events and tournaments that are coming up that I would like to go ahead and start throwing out there. I'm going to be highlighting these at the beginning of the show, probably the next few weeks until they pop up onto the calendar for you. But on March 15th, Release Over 20 is having their benefit. It is called Turn the Tide. And you guys, it is a benefit. So buy some tickets. You can actually go to releaseover20.org, buy a ticket, and they're going to have, it's a big oyster roast. I think there's chili down in there. It's going to be a great event. Go down. It's in Ondal. It's on a great property. It's right on a little creek right there in Ondal. Beautiful property. I've been there once. I was nice enough. The gentleman who owns it, he invited me. I actually needed to pick up some gear from him that I won last year. And I got a little tour of the property, and it's a fantastic property. So go down there, support them. You guys know, we're big believer of Release Over 20 here at Deadcom Outdoors. So go down, support those guys, eat some oysters, eat some chili. So that is March 15th. Turn the Tide event to benefit Release Over 20. Second, there is a flounder tournament coming up. It is the Grand Strand Saltwater Anglers Association, and it's their annual flounder tournament, which is April 25th. And what is different about this year is there is now a kayak division. So Heath, you guys all know Heath. He's on here all the time. And myself, we were lucky enough to help kind of set up the kayak division, and help them out. So this is going to be the first year for a kayak division. The kayak division is going to be run through Fishing Chaos. So you guys who fish kayak tournaments, you guys know about Fishing Chaos and how it's a photo catch release. It's a CPR event. So, there is going to be a captain's meeting on the 24th of April at the Beaver Bar, which you have to attend. At the captain's meeting, that is where you actually get a board check. So when you come get your identifier after you guys sign up, you will get an identifier card to write your identifier number on, and you have to bring your measuring board for us to check to make sure that it is an official board. So this is where a lot of these kayak events are starting to go to. these captains meetings are mandatory so that, this is just trying to eliminate the cheating that is starting to creep into these kayak events. So I think it's great. This is the way that we need to go with it. But on April 25th, you got the annual flounder event. There are 2 saltwater redfish events coming up in the Charleston area, and they're going to coincide together. One is the Saltwater Kayak Series tournament, which is March 7th. That's on a Saturday. I had Joe Camiotti on, gosh, I think that was back in January. No, it was in December. He is like the series director, and Joe Camiotti, he is just a hammer in the kayak fishing world, especially the saltwater fishing world. If you guys caught that interview that was on DCO Live and on the Outdoor Radio Network on the radio show, Joe has been on Team USA Kayak, and he has fished internationally, and he's running this, and he's actually going to be fishing these tournaments. And this is actually going to be a qualifying event for Team USA. So if you guys want to try to qualify to get onto Team USA, go over to the Saltwater Kayak Series Facebook page, read all about how you can do that. I believe, now I'm probably going to get this wrong, but I think it's based on Angler of the Year points for that tournament series. So, but go over there, check that out. But you actually have a chance to qualify to get on to Team USA, which is really, really cool. I am going to be fishing that event. And so I'm going to be pre-fishing on Friday. I'm going to go down, scout out a few areas, spend the day, grab a hotel, and go to the captain's meeting, and then fish Saturday. Now, that tournament is going to coincide with the Low Country Kayak Anglers' first stop on their redfish series, the redfish series. And that is also Saturday, March 7th. Now, the only caveat to the LKA event is you have to launch from Paradise Landing. For the Saltwater Series event, it's actually a boundary tournament. So in the rules, it gives you a boundary from like southern Charleston up to like the Wando River. So it's a huge area, a lot of Charleston water that you guys can fish, but you have to launch from a public landing. So make sure you read the rules on where you can fish in Charleston. But if you're going to fish both of those events simultaneously, the Saltwater Series and the LKA, then you have to launch from Paradise, okay? And that is the only caveat to that. But you can fish both events. Excuse me, I had a quick a little itch. But yeah, so guys, I'm going to be kind of highlighting these the next couple of weeks, kind of keep it fresh in your mind. I know a lot of the guys on here are kayak fishermen and kayak tournament fishermen. And don't be afraid to get into these kayak tournament events. They are a ton of fun. It is no stress. I mean, the meetups are great. The captain's meetings are great. So guys, don't let that kind of stuff scare you off. If you've never done it, guys will help you out. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So yeah, we'll hit that again next week. So kind of jumping into my topic tonight, what I wanted to get into is I am actually finally, I'm going to knock on some wood here. I am going to be fishing Saturday. The weather looks great. Everything is kind of lining up really well. And it has probably been, I don't even know right now. I think it's been 8 weeks since I've been out on the water. So I thought it would be a good topic to go through prep and pre-fishing again. I haven't done this in probably, I think it was when Captain Bob was on last and we were talking about the ORN weather app. when we were talking about prep and pre-fishing, and that may have been back in, oh man, Captain Bob, you may have to help me out here. October, November. I don't know. It's been a while, but I just kind of thought I would kind of go through. I have got stuff all in my office right now, scattered all through here. Just want to kind of go through the way I'm kind of thinking about how I'm going to be tackling the day, what I've got rigged up, and what I've done to kind of prepare for that. So let's kind of start out with, I got my rods and reels ready to go. So I pulled off and stripped off some of the old braid, put on some new braid. It's 10-pound J braid. And I put on all new leader for all of my rods. I went with 12 and 15-pound fluoro leaders. That's what I'm going to be using. I do have some 20-pound over here. I didn't put any on. Right now, I'm not going to be around a lot of structure. The only structure I'm really going to be around that I may get broke off on, or probably will get broke off on, is some oyster beds. But 15-pound, I fish around oyster beds and up on the flats with 15. And unless a redfish kind of pulls me down into those oyster beds, 15 will be just fine. So all new leaders. And I connect my leader to braid with a modified Albright knot. Some of you guys know that knot. It is a nice little tight knot. It's one that I have a lot of confidence and I can tie very quickly. It's a small knot. It's not as small as the FG. I am not very good at the FG knot. I have abandoned that knot years and years ago. I can't tie it. It is frustrating for me. So I went to this modified Albright. I can tie it within a minute, maybe two at the most. And and I got a lot of confidence in it. I can almost tie it with my eyes closed. So that's kind of the leaders I've got. So moving down to my terminal tackle, I've got one right here. So this is a 1/6 ounce finesse eye from I Strike Fishing. I love their like Texas and finesse eye hooks. This is a VMC right here, really strong. I've caught a lot of redfish on those. I have never had one straighten out on me. So I've got tied on a 1/6 and a 1/10 ounce finesse eyes, and that's what I'm going to be using. Along with, I'm going to be using a little Ned head. This is a 1/10 ounce Ned head, and this is on a Z-Man TRD ticklers. And the difference between the TRD and the tickler is the little, what would be the little tentacles, I guess, here up on the top. And this mimics a shrimp or maybe a little bait fish on the bottom very, very well. And with that Ned head, when it hits the bottom, this thing stands straight up. I mean, with the buoyancy of Z-Man products that you guys know, these are absolutely fantastic. So between the weedless finesse and the Ned heads, that is basically going to be my terminal tackle for the day. Pretty stripped down, but that is going to be it. So as we're going to stay on to the terminal tackle, let's move on to my lure. So I have got a ton of stuff out here in front of me right now. So you guys already know I'm going to be using the TRD ticklers. I've got them in just a couple of colors. Let me see, the root beer chartreuse is one. This is the deal color. I love the deal color. It's a very natural. I pretty much have all of my patterns in the deal color. This is a 3-inch slim swim in the deal color. And I will also be throwing, if I can pull this one up into the camera, a white 3-inch slim swim. And again, that is on a 1/6 ounce finesse eye. So you guys can see that that is rigged and ready to go. So again, between the slim swims, the TRDs, and then moving down into my shrimp pattern, I'm going to be using a Ned shrimp. Again, I can use those on the little finesse eyes. And these are absolutely deadly, especially right now, because this is the size of the little grass shrimp and the little glass minnows that are running around the flats and along the grass right now. This is about it in our area, which is the Murrells Inlet area. So this is root beer. I've got one in mortar. No, I can't. Yeah, root beer is the only one I've got up here right now. So that is what I'm going to be using. A next one, this is going to be something new that I have not thrown yet. And Captain Stephen Flute Jr. just swears by this. So this is the goby. This is the TRD goby. And so it looks like, I mean, this looks like a little mud minnow. Hopefully you guys can see that, and the camera is focusing in on that. But it is absolutely a fantastic little profile. And I have that, again, you guys saw this. I've got it on the 1/6 ounce. And this is the little TRD goby. And maybe dragging this along the bottom, looking like one of the little mud minnows, I think that is going to be absolutely just a killer bait. I've got it in a couple of different colors, and I've got them right here. So I got a little darker color, green pumpkin right here. And then I just like the name, so I had to buy it, the Goby Bryant. So it's a little bit of a more natural color. Let me see if I can pull one out here for you. But yeah, I mean, when you're in the tackle store and you see names like Goby Bryant, I mean, you got to buy it, right? So it's a very natural looking color. Let me see if that'll help you a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to be carrying those along this weekend. So yeah, never used them. If you guys have used the goby, throw it up in the comments. Let me know how you guys do with it. Again, maybe it's 2 inches. It can't be much more. It's no more than 2.5. So yeah, so that is let me see what else I have. So the TRDs is always a staple this time of the year. You guys know about the finesse TRDs. It just looks like a miniature little stick bait. And you can see that right there. And again, this one is in the deal color. And I've got a couple of other colors also that is a little more on the natural. I've got like a perch color that's got a little bit more browns and some grays in it. So yeah, those are just a staple this time of the year. So yeah, that's what I have got rigged up, and that's pretty much all I'm taking. There's maybe 6-8 bags, and that's really it. So the new black pack that I've got back here is going to look pretty empty when I go out on Saturdays, because I'm just not going to be taking a whole lot of baits with me. So kind of moving along, and getting things ready to go, I'm charging up all of my batteries. So one of the batteries that I do take, I probably should have had this a little closer to me, but it was right on things. So I use a Naqua battery to power my Garmin Striker 4, which is over here. So this is the 20 amp battery, and it'll run my Garmin for not quite 20 hours. So I can get about 3 trips out of it. And I'm usually on the water between 5 to 8 hours. So depending on how long I'm out, 3 6-hour trips, no problem whatsoever. I love the Naqua batteries, especially for kayak fishing. You can see, I mean, this thing is just a nice little compact cube, plugs right in. I hide all my wires up into the front hatch. I am not sponsored by Naqua. I just think their products are awesome. So, check them out if you guys aren't running a Naqua battery. I also have, again, guys, I'm finally going to shoot a video. So I've got all of my GoPro batteries. I got my cameras cleaned up. I've got all of that stuff. So, and then I started looking at my kayak because, I haven't touched my kayak in 6 weeks. So I had to like blow some leaves and pine needles off of the seat and the deck of the kayak. I checked the seat straps, the steering cables in the back, made sure that they were nice and tight. just kind of going through everything to make sure that when I get out on the water, I'm not having any type of issue. So, now that the kayak is ready, the gear is ready to go, I want to start looking at weather, tides, feeding times, when are the majors and minors, and we are going to start diving into this. So before we get into this, I'm going to need your guys' help for a second. So I want to play a little 1-minute clip from the Captain Stephen Fluke Jr. interview that I did, I don't know, maybe about a month ago. The last time I tried to do a video for you guys, you couldn't hear the audio. So I'm going to pop it up and start playing it. Let me know with either a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you guys can hear the audio, okay? I can hear it on my end, but I'm going to need you guys. But I want you to hear what Captain Stevens says, and then we're going to translate that into this weekend's fishing, okay? So let's see how this goes.
I mean, this is my favorite time to fish, to be completely honest. The water's crystal clean and the sight fishing is unbelievable. Most casts that I made were directly to a fish that I saw with my eyes, and I fed them. And all the fish were the smallest fish I caught was 26 inches today in about a foot and a half of water. So the key is you want a low tide. This is very important. Take notes, everyone. You want a low tide, at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3 p.m. Anywhere in that range is when I want a low tide. Why? Because when that water falls off the flat and all of that mud and oysters are exposed, all that mud and everything is soaking in the sun. And so when the tide comes back in, that warm mud and warm rock, warm oysters is going to warm the water temperature up very quickly. So when I launched my boat this morning, the water was 50, which honestly is very warm for the winter. And it's a great temp already just to start with. Fish are very active at 50, but by the end of the day, it was 56. So the water had warmed 6 degrees throughout the day.
Okay, so I'm glad you guys could hear it. I know the video buffered a little bit, but you guys got the gist of it. So what Captain Stephen Fluke was saying is he loves his low tide to be, that between, I'm going to say 10 to 3 o'clock. Okay, because as the tide is dropping out, he's saying that sun is warming up the mud. And then as the tide is starting to come in, that warm mud, that warm bottom, that warm oyster is warming up the water. So here is the weekend right here. I'm going to pop this up on the screen. So guys, as you can see right here on the left-hand side is Saturday's tide. And where I have those marked right now, low tide is somewhere right around, now I can't read, the print is so low, but it's got to be, I don't know, I'm going to say 1 o'clock. Okay, I can't read it. You guys probably can a little bit better than I can. But the two little circles that you are seeing here, the larger green oval is the first major of the day. Okay, right here in the center, you can see February 14th. The major right here is like 9:15 to 11. Okay, so I wanted to circle that. Bottom of the tide, the red is the first minor. Okay, so we're talking, that 1-2 o'clock time frame. Now, the reason why I wanted to play Captain Stevens' clip and then show you this tide is this is exactly the situation Captain Stephen is talking about. That is that low tide around noon that he loves. So I am basing my day off of all of this right here. I'm going to be launching late in the morning, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, catching it right before low tide, trying to be in that major feeding time frame. Let the tide bottom out, get to the spots where I want to hit. I'm going to be looking for mud bottoms. I'm going to be looking for oyster beds, things that are going to absorb that heat from the sun, and then start fishing these areas as the water starts pushing back over these mud bottoms. So you can see Saturday and Sunday, the tide chart there on the right is Sunday. It's lining up absolutely perfectly. So, I wanted to play that clip because this weekend is looking absolutely awesome. So now that we have our tides, we got a little bit of a plan. You have to know about the weather. So I went to the Outdoor Radio Network, the ORN weather app, and you guys all know about it. And I know that you guys have already all downloaded it. You can go to the Outdoor Radio Network /mobile, and you can download the app. And here is the weather app. I've got it up. I'm sharing my screen. You guys can see it. This little flag right here is showing Saturday at 12 p.m. I don't think you guys can see my cursor up there at all, but that is Saturday at 12. And 12 o'clock Saturday, nice, sunny. It's 52, 55. Winds are 4, 5. They may get up, 10, 12 miles an hour, a gust. And you can see it's nice and blue up here on the map. So winds are going to be low. You can see they're coming out of the southeast. That's fine. Good winds. That's what's keeping us on the warmer side. So everything I am hoping is lining up to have a very good day. So taking the tide tables, taking your weather apps, putting all of this stuff together, I've already got areas. I've got about 5 areas that I'm going to be hitting on Saturday that I know where there's a mud bottom, and I know areas where there's plenty of oysters. So, putting those, I'm going to go to A, B, C, D, and move my way around is my game plan. Now, obviously, you guys know I'm a kayak fisherman, so getting to point A and point B, they got to be fairly close. So you've got to plan your day out. You can't go from point A and then jump, a 40-minute, pedal to get to another area because you're just burning time. So, it's very important for us kayakers to plan out your day accordingly to make the best time on your water, A, B, C, D, and work your way around. So my plan is already set. But guys, the weather app, use it. I'm already looking at Sunday. I thought I was going to be able to fish on Sunday, but it is looking pretty rough in the afternoon. So if you guys can see this, in the morning between 7 and 10 a.m., the winds are going to be between 7 and 9 miles an hour, but then the rain starts to move in the afternoon. So somewhere right around that 1 o'clock time frame, the rain and the wind start picking up. So this little orange bar down here where the wind is, we're talking, what is that, 21 knots? Let's see what miles an hour is. So we're talking 24 miles an hour gusts on Sunday, right around, noon, 1 o'clock. So with the rain coming in, it's probably going to be a golf day. Pebble Beach is on, so I'll probably stay home, clean up my gear, look through some video, and kind of run back through my Saturday. But guys, that is my plan. You guys know what I'm going to be doing. Murrells Inlet is starting to pick up. I have talked to a couple of people I've talked to Captain Jason Burton. He's been out on the water. Things are really picking up. The water temperatures are starting to come back up. I don't know what the water temperatures are right now. So I will definitely find that out on Saturday. I'm thinking about doing a really quick Facebook Live or maybe an Instagram Live from the water, maybe like a little 1 minute or 30-second little Instagram Live just to let you guys know what the conditions are like. So I think I'll probably do that. I'll make a little note, but guys, that is it. I am super excited to be out on the water. Finally, man, the weather is breaking for us. Spring is right around the corner. I know a lot of our friends up north, they're probably still under ice and snow. I'm not even sure when ice out hits, up in, Ohio, probably even later in Michigan. And, you're probably talking, March, and maybe, I don't even know. Yeah, it's probably more like March. So they're probably got at least another month under some ice. So, but, we're fortunate to be down here, and, I'm not going to complain. It was, gorgeous out today, and it's going to be mid to upper 50s on Saturday. So, yeah, guys, I am super excited, but, I am ready to go. And now I've got to clean up all of my gear and get it ready for Saturday morning. So, guys, I really appreciate you all jumping on. We will do this again. Tony, he just jumped on and said, we are frozen here still in Ohio. Yeah. So, yeah, man, it's been a cold winter. It's been a cold winter for everybody. Captain Bob jumped on and he said, Rusty caught, what does that say? 30 reds Monday? Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, it is on. It is on. So yeah, you got, I would almost wish you guys would lie to me and say there's nothing. No, I don't know. I have just been chomping at the bit. Captain Bob said, yep, 30. Holy cow. Yeah, man, I am hoping it is on. So, when they talk about the tug is the drug, guys, I am all in. I am an addict. So, yeah, guys, I am gonna get you off. I am ready to jump off myself. I'm gonna go grab a cold beverage and relax the rest of the night. I really appreciate all you guys jumping on week in and week out. We have built a really great community here. And again, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Share it with your fishing buddies. If they're saltwater fishermen, or even if they just like to jump on and talk fishing. I know a lot of guys, sometimes the chat gets rolling and you guys get your own conversation going, which is, distracting because I'm reading your guys' comments and I'm trying to, I don't know. It's great. I absolutely love it. So, guys, I really appreciate each and every one of you. We will do it again next week, 8 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. Again, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you all next week.